Hi there, everyone. Hope you can hear this. Maybe I'll move my mic a little bit closer. How about that? This is from this graphic. It's from a Jack Kirby interview, I think. Scott Nemmers posted this in the inking class that we happen to be in at the same time for the Kubert School. It's a quote from the man, Jack Kirby. Let me read this to you because I really liked it. He says, he linked it in the classroom, and he says, if you're an aggressive individual and you want to make this your field and there is no school, you make your own school. You make your school. I say that you can borrow arms and legs and heads and necks and posteriors from anybody you can. In comics, which is a peculiar field, every artist is the other artist's teacher. Every man, I get it. Every artist is the other artist's teacher. There's absolutely no school for it. People could teach you the mechanics of it, which is good. I can see a good reason for that. But drawing a good figure does not make you a good artist. Yeah, you hear that? I say that all the time. I can name you 10 men right off the bat who draw better than I do, but I don't think their work gets as much response as mine. I can't think of a better man to draw Dick Tracy than Chester Gould, who certainly is no match for Leonardo da Vinci. I've said this so many times. Chester Gould, however, can tell the story of Dick Tracy. He told the story of Dick Tracy the way it should have been told. No other guy could have done it. It's not in the draftsmanship, it's in the man. See, this is the secret of comics right here. This is New Gods Sunday School right here. So like I say, a tool is dead. A brush is a dead object. It's in the man. If you want to do it, you do it. If you think a man draws the type of hands that you want to draw, steal them. Take those hands. The only thing I can say is Kniff was my teacher. Alex Raymond was my teacher. Even the guy who drew Tunerville Trolley was my teacher. Whatever he had stimulated me in some way, and I think that's all you need. You need the stimulation. Stimulation to make you an individual. And the draftsmanship, hang it. If you can decently, learn to control what you can, learn to control what you have, learn to refine what you have. Damn perfection. I probably used another word. You don't have to be perfect. You're never going to do a Sistine Chapel unless someone ties you to a ceiling. So damn perfection. All a man has in this field is pressure, and I think the pressure supplies a stimulation. You have your own stresses that will supply your own stimulation. If you want to do it, you'll do it, and you'll do it any way you can. Jack Kirby. So this is it. This is the secret right here. I've said this so many times. It's crazy to see this. And I always say that my teachers, he says Kniff, he's talking about Milt Kniff, who I reference a lot. Milt Kniff, a guy who drew Terry and the Pirates, and Steve Canyon was his teacher. Alex Raymond, the guy who drew Flash Gordon, was his teacher. And I say the same thing. And my guys are C.C. Beck, Al Capp, and Jack himself, Steve Ditko. You're looking at them closely. You're looking for what you can get out of those. This was really inspiring to see this. So I just tattoo that on my soul. It's too long. Hang it. All right. That little rant. We're on page 14. We're on page 14. Oh, but inking class has been going really well, and I started doing this one, and I bought some more Bristol. But the assignment is to draw some nature stuff, some outdoor scenes. So I've got something started. I really don't like my bark on this tree, but I'm going to go ahead and finish this piece and maybe do another one. And I've got to do, I don't even know what I had planned over here, some plants, but I don't like these plants that I kind of faked in, so I'm going to probably redo it and do some new plants and finish the figure. Anyway, that's it for traditional inking. Well, let's go ahead and do this bit. That's pretty cool to see. I've got to, this is always a tough one for me, is the first bit of ink that you put on that's not just in the pencils. Like this is, my pencils are really rough. They're not completely rough, so I think I can probably just go right in from here. But, every once in a while, if you don't have enough information, you don't have enough to go on. And one of these days, I'm going to learn my lesson about doing more finished pencils. Today, during lunch, I went to Michael's and I got some more Bristol. I got 9 by 12. My beef with doing traditional art is that I need to do a lot of pages. I know that people disagree with me, but I need to score volume to make up for lost time because I feel like I'm too old to get good at a leisurely pace. You know, I don't. There's no resting. It has to be every day, and you know, if you miss a day, it's a setback, and you got to keep the pressure up. You got to keep your industriousness up, and constantly be looking for ways to improve. Because if you don't, you won't get to the point where you are truly improving, like truly achieving, in my opinion. Now, this sounds crazy when I say it out loud, but it's very important to me to get to that finish line multiple times. And the finish line here is not just I actually drew a comic, I actually finished something. It's not that. I finished many things. The finish line for me, the first one, is the 1,000 page mark. And I don't remember which number I'm in. It's 780 something. I might be in the 790s by this time. I doubt it. I've also been slowing down. Once I hit my year goal is 100 pages. I took on some commissions, and I count some of the commissions towards the goal, but I don't count all of them. Some of the commissions are covers, and the covers I count. The character sheets that I did, like their D&D character sheets, I'm not counting those because that's not the same as a finished piece. It is a lot of fun though, so I'm enjoying it. Would I count, something like this? Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, I think I probably could. I could count this. I think in my first year I counted 25 pages of keyboard homework that I did. Or my second year, 2020. Took multiple classes. And I've already done, if that counts, I did, I don't know if you saw my Galactus. I took it to work and I put it on the wall at work. But probably my Galactus and my Dark Phoenix that I drew, or inked rather. And I know that's just inking, not actually doing the drawing, but it still took a lot of effort for both of those. I'm looking at this and I'm not liking that line at all. Another thing I noticed is, I'm finding good pencils for Silver Age comics so that I could print out on my printer and take a shot at inking. But when I print them out, they're not printing at the full 11 by 17 size. They're printing at 9 by 12 or around that size. So I bought some 9 by 12 Bristol. I had this 11 by 17 Bristol. I could run it through that printer over there. And I'm running out of it. I started out with 24 sheets. I've probably got 12 left. But to truly develop my inking, I think I need to do a lot more. Right? Ramp it up. And an easy way to do that is just do it at 9 by 12. You don't have to do it at 11 by 17, especially if it's not really even going to print out that size. I'm looking at this. What is going on? Thinking is tough, y'all. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to invoke the speed line somehow in the form. This is something Kirby could do. Dan Frege has a pretty good video on how to do this. I am not Dan Frege though, so if I don't get this right, just give me some slack. All the speed lines have to be going the same direction on the form. See, I get hit so hard it messed up his hair. Let's see. So here's Prometheus' powers getting hit hard. I think we're going to need these outside speed lines to make this really work. All right, I'm going to leave the impact lines off till the end. What are we at? 9 minutes already? Plus my 3-minute rant. Rants and raves. There's an interesting section in Sholey's biography of Jack Kirby, the King of Comics, where he had set the look of Marvel Comics in the 1960s, and then these new guys were coming in, and they were having to draw like him, or they felt like they had to draw like him, like Romita. Crazy thing about Romita. Romita took over for Ditko on Spider-Man, but also was doing other stuff too. And they felt as if they had to do kind of a Jack Kirby impression, and I think there's a section in there. I'll have to go look in which word it was, where he says, "You don't have to draw like me. Draw like how you draw." If everyone, I know that was the look of the 60s, and it's certainly not the look today. But it's such a unique look. It's kind of cool that that's what it is. Comics now have a very generic look. This traced CSP 3D model look is what I call it. Or I sometimes refer to it as cinematic realism, where it's supposed to look like the movie, right? Or the cosplayer. There's even comics that are based on cosplayers right now. And, you know, it doesn't make any sense to me at all. I'm sure these are nice ladies, you know, but they aren't characters. Oh, I don't want to call them out specifically. There's a bunch though. Nobody wants to see, you know, an attractive cosplayer lady with a broken jaw and, her orbital socket busted, from a fist fight with, you know, whoever. But we do want to see that happen to Batman. Like, that's important. It's important to see your characters get beat up, and I don't know. It's contributed to the overall. And we're not seeing that, by the way. When you have a comic like that, it's just that character posing seductively, and like doing like a yoga pose in every panel. They're not doing anything interesting ever. They're not getting hit. There's no drama to it at all. And that's a shame. I'm looking at this. Hang on. Pencils. That is looking pretty good as far as a. Excellent. I want to make sure that there's a place to put a background in. There's not much background available here, but there is background here that we can use. This is mostly going to be focus lines from a big power punch. I want to do a big power punch here. There's going to be a big sound effect down here somewhere. So let's put this on another layer. And we're going to call this Camp Drawing Guide. Drawing Guide. Perspective line. I'm looking at it and I'm not sure. So if we did it here, we could do the focus lines coming in. But I don't like how it's going to work. I want to do it a different way. So let's turn the assistant off. I'm going to do the Vince Coletta style. If I turn the pencils off. I may turn that drawing guide back on. I want to do like a I saw this in inking class, and I want to try it. And I'm wondering if I'm not getting the. I don't like that line right here. This first one. Too thick. So I think once we add in that sound effect, this might have a pretty good impact. I'm hoping. You know, wham, smash. I think wham would be good. What do you think? Wham? This one's definitely going to be, the bottom one's going to be whammo. Whammo. I'm tempted to make it batang, because that one was used a lot in like Thor for some reason. Batang, or as Captain America, like when something would bounce off the shield, it would be batang, which I always thought was funny. Clong. This sounds like somebody getting hit with a gong or something. All right, so what happens here? Too thick. Okay, by doing it in two tiers, you can see that it kind of makes this. You see this white line that kind of wends its way through. That becomes part of the energy that flows through the piece. You know. And this is not done with any ruler assist, so I'm getting it wrong every once in a while. It's not completely straight. It's not on the right angle exactly, but it's, I erase it when I feel like it's completely off. But I think we did it. I think we actually, like, this one's kind of off right here. Let's redo these. It's looking pretty good. And your white space is as important as your line space in this case. So having this kind of opening thing, and we feel yeah, okay, I'm getting it now. Feeling pretty good about that. All right, we're going to go back to yet another layer so I can do the I'm not saying I'm a great letterer, but I used to be a terrible letterer. And this recently, like the one I did the other day, I think it was just Crash. That came out pretty good, like all things considered. I was reading a webpage. We were talking about some of Kirby's inkers, and Scott had also posted a panel from is it Sky Masters, I think? Which was his newspaper cartoon, but it was with Wally Wood inking. Wham! And wow, that's better than my old style, which is to do it with the pencil first. Hang on, that's pretty good. I'm gonna hail it out a bit. Okay, the things I can't hail out are on this layer. And it got me thinking about Wally Wood as an inker for Ditko, which I absolutely love. Stalker. Stalker is the one that really appeals to me. And hang on, looking at it now. Are those meant to be rendering lines? Call yourself an inker? I'm liking all of this, except I think that when I did the flam lines, oops, I don't like that part. Okay. What do you think? I think we got it. I think we're on the right track. Okay. I'm going to do just a couple more, and we're going to call this a day. What are these called? The quadriceps, right? On the thighs. It's a very difficult angle. I don't even know what chunks of what is breaking off, but there's definitely some explosive stuff. Maybe it's the mud that was caked onto Stardust in the previous panel. All right. Please like, follow, subscribe. There will be more comics every day, every day, every day. Make your own school. Talk to you later.